What would your dying wish be? For many people, it would be they wish they could have spent more time with family or gone on some more holidays, seen the world, who knows? Well, for one woman, Elizabeth Beerworth, who passed away last year at age 80, her dying wish to her children was trees, trees, trees. She wanted the Northern Beaches Council to trim the trees in front of her apartment. She had a deal with Manly Council where they would trim the trees so she didn't lose the view of the harbour from her apartment. When it merged with Northern Beaches Council in 2016, that deal ended, and over the course of the ensuing years, she completely lost her once spectacular view from her apartment. Now her daughter has taken up the charge and is determined to get justice for her mother's view. I mean, firstly, this is the most quintessentially Sydney story I think I have ever heard. A woman whose dying wish is to preserve her harbour view. I mean, you look at that. It's a very nice view.
She was so on brand with brand.
So on brand for Sydney, and for a council to be obstinate.
And that's it now.
And refuse to do it. I kind of get that.
Yeah, I get it too. I mean, you know, how rude can you be as a council to say, no, we simply can't come and trim the trees, right? And I see the work that gets done, and sometimes it's done by council and sometimes it's done by the local power mob, but they've got to trim the trees where the power lines go through, right? And they come along and they do the absolute worst hack jobs on trees. They look absolutely terrible. So if they can get that done, surely they can come along and trim a tree so an old lady can have a view out of her apartment. And it does actually affect the value of these properties. I mean, real estate, there was a real estate agent quoted in this story today saying that, you know, as much as 30% of the value of your property can be wiped away by not having that view. You know, people come first, and I'm not saying the trees should be ripped out, because trees are lovely and they're great for the environment, and we breathe out and they breathe it in and turn it back into oxygen again. They're one of the great wonders of the world. But surely you can just do a nice thing and trim the tree so the old lady can have her view.
See, as a just a boring, moderate, centrist type, this just ticks all my boxes. Like it is the ultimate kind of pragmatic resolution. We keep the tree, we just trim it a little bit.
Yes.
And if you know, and again, it's not like old Elizabeth Beerworth is out there tree spiking. She's got a beautiful view. Some would say it's a view to die for, and she was prepared to go the distance and do it. And the council deprived her of her last dying wish. I mean, this is
outrageous. And the alternative is, if the council doesn't step up their act and trim the trees where appropriate, where reasonable, given she had the view and then she didn't have the view due to the trees, she could mount a very compelling argument that it's her right to have the council trim them. If they don't do that, well, then people will resort to poisoning the trees, and then you'll lose whole sections of tree. And that's the alternative. Either you trim the trees or people will take matters into their own hands and start poisoning them. I think it's better if the council just applies some common sense and trims the trees.
Because Mrs. Beerworth is only going to play nice for so long. Like when she turns, once she chooses that dark path and starts to go down it.
But the only problem is we're talking about common sense. We're not going to get any common sense. I must go home and have a look tonight, because out of my bedroom window, if the tree's not obscuring it, which it is at the moment, I have a lovely view of Darling Harbour in the city. So I must go and check who owns the land on which it sits and ask them to trim it for me. And if not, maybe you'll get a visit from the council about it. We shall see. And they'll probably say we'll do nothing about it.